Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who just decided to click on this video and don't know who I am Brianna Christine, and I am going to do, as you can see from the title of this video, a video basically summing up the I feel like three isn't enough. I feel like five rookie mistakes that I made during my first prep. For those of you who don't follow me on social media or don't know who I am, I did compete back in 2016 in my very first prep. So I competed in the bikini division and I learned so much. Nothing can like fully prepare you for your very first prep. So I'm here to shed some light on some of the mistakes I made and hopefully help one person. I hope that if you have a friend going into a prep or somebody considering prepping, that you show them this video and hopefully they can make some better choices than I made and have a little bit more of a positive first experience. So, number one mistake was that I did not spend long enough time in an off season or an improvement season or just not dieting in general. A little backstory for you guys, for those of you who don't know me. I figure skated competitively in my youth. I was very invested in it, and being a competitive figure skater is an amazing thing, taught me tons of things, but it also made me very hyper aware of my body image. It made me restrict my caloric intake from a very young age in order to stay petite and aerodynamic, and that's just the name of the game of the sport. That's the way it goes. So I would say from basically 12 until I was, 17, 18 years old, I was very hyper body image aware of like how I looked, how much I weighed. I was very up on calories and protein intake and all those things that kind of go into also the sport of bodybuilding. So my metabolism, I think from a young age already kind of was stunted. Then throughout my university years, I kind of did the yo-yo dieting thing. So I would gain a bit of weight because, I'm not like, I'm a woman now. I'd gain weight and then I would diet again to lose the weight, and back and forth pretty much every summer in university. And then after university, I dieted for my wedding because I wanted to look good on my wedding day. So I did beach body and I did cycles of that and I lost weight for my wedding. And then after my wedding is kind of when I got in touch with my first coach. She was hosting an 8-week challenge and I decided to enter. She was somebody I admired on Instagram and I figured I had nothing to lose. I wanted to get into macro tracking. I wanted to one day compete and I felt like this was an avenue that would provide me with that opportunity. So I joined the 8-week challenge. I was successful at that. I won it. I was like in a ton of momentum. I learned how to track. I was lifting with proper structured routines. And I reached out to my coach and I asked her, do you think I could compete? She was very honest about how hard it was and how life consuming it was. But she definitely said to think about it and she felt I had potential. So I decided to do a 16-week reverse diet and then with this coach and hopes of prepping. And so I did reverse diet out of my 8-week challenge to a T. Like I was on point. Reversed up to around 1,800 calories and I was doing 900 calories worth of cardio a week. So that's like 4 20-minute sessions roughly. This is one of those things I think being a natural athlete, you really underestimate the amount of time it takes to build any sort of muscle. I thought I had a lot of muscle, and I did have a lot of muscle in my legs from being a figure skater, especially in the quad area. Like your girl ain't struggling with her quads. But I also really didn't have like a ton of calves or glutes, and my upper body was just not developed. And I should have spent longer. I should have got my calories higher. I should have given my body a break. I should have, spent more time in the gym because that first 6 months in the gym, like that thing, the newbie gains that everybody talks about, I've seen it. Like it is real. Your body has no idea what you're doing to it. And it really just wants to build muscle. And I feel like I really sold myself short as far as that goes. And I entered a prep not eating enough, but more and doing cardio and just mentally already kind of burnt out. I was so strict in my reverse that when I entered my prep, I was kind of already like craving some freedom, which really wasn't the best. And And I also felt like if I didn't prep at that exact time, that I wasn't gonna have support in the future. And I think that's just staying true to yourself, because I had people that weren't supportive in my life of me prepping, just because there's a ton of issues in bodybuilding. We all know body dysmorphia and all the things that can come along with it. And so I was scared. I had a little bit of momentum that if I stopped or I took a step back or I continued in an off season, that anyone who did support me, I would like lose them, which now I look back, I'm like, what? So to quit my rambling and kind of sum it up, I feel like my biggest mistake was that I just didn't give myself enough time to build muscle, to get my metabolism up, to give my head a break, to stop doing cardio, and really build a physique so that when I dieted, I had muscle to showcase. Because I realized once I started dieting that I just became a smaller version of myself, but I didn't have a lot of muscle. So, you know, I was shrinking, but I wasn't looking like muscular and athletic and toned. So that is my number one regret. All right, we're gonna get into my number two, I guess, rookie mistake. And that comes from, I feel like this was something, again, I kind of had a gut instinct with, but didn't listen to, was your coach. Your first prep, there is no amount of vlogs or Instagram posts or anything that can truly prepare you for how hard your first prep is gonna be. And your coach is key, in my opinion, because nobody gets what you're going through. Like, most of us don't live in the vlogger world where we have all friends that prep and our life is prep and we're an online coach. So you need a coach that can give you the support that you need. And this is very individual. So if you need to be able to text your coach if something comes up in life, or you have a question, or, you know, you're feeling sick and you need support immediately, and you know that about yourself, you need to find a coach that offers that. If you need a coach that's willing to train you in the gym because, you know, you want literally a trainer, you need to do that. If you need a coach that is willing to have phone calls with you or go to your posing classes to check on your physique in person, get a coach that fits that. Online coaching is amazing, and I think so many people do well with it, but I do think if you're a person that you don't think that's a good fit for you, you're probably right. I'm a little bit crazy. I'm a little bit needy. If I have a question, it's gonna sit in my head and I'm gonna dwell on it for the 4 days before my check-in, and the number one thing in prep is not to stress. You're paying them. You're entrusting them with your health. So get what you want out of a coach. Don't just go with an online coach or a coach that other people have had success with, because you're your own individual person. So really research it, really spend the time, you know, asking the questions and getting what you want from a coach. And I wish I would have done more research before my first show. Mistake number 3 is social media. I feel like it's even bigger now, but I feel like in my first prep, I love social media, clearly. I'm on YouTube and I post a ton on Instagram, and honest to God, I've met so many amazing girls. I love sharing my experience, but it can be such a negative thing. And in my first prep, I really learned that. And in my first post show, but that'll be a different video, Instagram or just social media in general is kind of what you make it. And when your coach says to you, Brianna, don't search the hashtag of your show and compare yourself to other people, they are right. Because once you get into the comparison game, and once you're on social media checking out other people, whether they're in your show or really not, and you start going oh my God, she's 12 weeks out and I'm 12 weeks out, and she looks like this and I look like this, and she weighs this much and her macros are this much and I'm this, and she gets refeeds and I don't. It's just such a negative space, and you can just spend so much time going through Instagram, the amount of fitness accounts there are now, just comparing of where people are at, and some people come in leaner and some people come in fuller and some people come in softer and some people come in harder, and it's just you can literally wrap your head around and drive yourself nuts. And my first prep, I 100% did that. I mean, I met a few amazing girls via Instagram, and I would never ever take that away. And one of my best friends now, we met through social media, and I just am so thankful for her. But don't search the hashtag of your show. Don't. And if somebody is making you feel negative or doubting yourself, don't follow them. You have the power to make your social media feed a really positive thing for your journey or a really negative thing. So be careful who you choose to follow, and be careful how you choose to view the people you follow, because you need to stay positive and you need to focus on yourself, and you do not need to start the comparison game, okay? Quit worrying about what other people are doing. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter if she gets a 400 carb refeed. Like, girl, you ain't getting it, so just do what you gotta do, you know? It doesn't matter if she's going on stage 20 pounds less than you. That's not what bodybuilding's about. So anyway, my rookie mistake number 4 was really underestimating how hard prep was going to be. I mean, I feel like, again, with social media, some people really false advertise how hard prep is gonna be. And some people's preps, honestly, maybe are not that hard. I also feel like nothing can truly prepare you for how hard prep is gonna be until you accomplish your first prep. But I kind of had this idea that everything was gonna go smooth and everything was gonna be great, and you know, I probably would feel hungry, but maybe not that hungry, because I had dieted lots before. I'd done the 8-week challenge. I really felt like I knew what I was getting myself into, and the reality is I had no idea how hard it was gonna be, you guys. Like, oh my God, like even going into the second prep, it was a huge life decision. Like, I literally spent 2 months talking to one of my best friends about whether I should do another prep before I went with my next coach, because prep is so hard. More than even physically. Like, I feel like at the end, physically it's very hard, but mentally, like being on point with your macros or your meal plan, whatever you choose, your posing, you know, watching your body change, staying objective, killing your workouts, crushing your cardio, and just really being on point for anywhere. Like, my prep this time is 20 weeks, last time was like 14 weeks. It's a really long time. It's a long time to say no to events. It's a long time not to drink with your friends if that's something you enjoy doing. It's a long time when, you know, you're going to family functions and you're going to birthday parties and there's food and stuff. Like, when you first start prep, it's totally like fine. Like, right now I'm not in the stage where like I feel any prep feels. Like, sure, I get hungry or cravings, but it's just like normal life things. And you know, even your relationships, like some of your friendships really suffer, and I never seen that coming. Like, I thought some of my friends were really good friends and it wouldn't matter if I prepped. But honestly, towards the end of prep, like, I kind of knew who my 3 friends were, and one's my sister. So like, you know, because you can't go out to the bar. It's not fun when you're starving to go out to the bar. And you know, your priorities change, and you have to get in workouts, and you have to get in cardio, and you're exhausted. And your idea of fun is watching Netflix for 4 hours and sipping on aminos. Like, sometimes you're just gonna be tired and hungry and irritable, and you just have to deal with it internally, and you can't take it out on other people. You can't, well, I can't talk. You can't take it out on other people, and you can't like dwell on it. Okay, and the 5th and final rookie mistake I made was kind of like, I feel like it ties into 2 things. One is being positive, and one is trusting the process, and they kind of go hand in hand. The first, I would say 6 weeks of prep, I was fine and I was progressing. And even though the scale wasn't moving like hugely, I was positive, I was excited to prep. And then I got into this like self-doubt, like self-deprecating, like worry, like stress ball. And my body stopped progressing, and then I stressed more, and then I worried more, and then I got on social media, and then I became really negative. Like, I'm a pretty upbeat person, and I just kind of like lost my pep. Like, my cortisol must have been like through the roof, you guys. Like, I wasn't sleeping. I had put way too much on my plate. I had promised to go to way too many things that I really couldn't, but I didn't want to let people down. And my negativity, like those close to me, like the last couple of weeks of prep, like when I said I was gonna prep again, they're like, really? Because I just let myself get in my own head in it, and I did not trust the process. I did not stay objective. Like, now that it's like almost like a year and 9 months later, I'm like, girl, chill out. So my 5th rookie mistake was not trusting the process and getting into a very negative headspace and worrying about the final outcome instead of enjoying the process. The outcome will be the sum of all the little things that added up and all the positive changes and all the workouts you crushed and all the cardio sessions you killed. That brings the final package, and you have to enjoy all that, or else prep isn't worth it. But honestly, I learned so much my first prep. I feel like I have such unfinished business. Like what a lame thing to say. But I just feel like I was capable of so much more. I learned so much more. And I love having a goal. I love bodybuilding. I love lifting. I love structure. I'm type A through and through. And it does bring me a lot of joy. I will say one thing. Going on stage and completing the competition, what you learn on show day from your hair, your tan, your makeup, your suit, I mean, the food choices you make on show day, how you handle show day, your sleep, even meeting the girls backstage, it's honestly such an experience that even if you don't feel ready, I don't feel like anything can replace you going on stage and committing and following through with that prep. So even though I went on stage and I didn't get first call outs, and I did not do very well, and I did not feel ready, and I didn't bring a package that I honestly was 100% proud of, I still look back and realize all the things I learned that day, from my hair, my makeup, my tan, my stage presence, what to expect, how a show day runs, the backstage, everything. And that will bring so much value into this next show, and I have such a better idea of what to expect. And I am really thankful I did follow through with the show day, even though I did not feel ready. So, you know, sticking to a goal and completing it regardless of the outcome can still have a ton of value. And I hope that I can show through these prep vlogs and even these informational kind of sit down videos that it's worth it to commit to something and follow through, even if the outcome isn't exactly what you thought it would be. So all you preppers out there, good luck. And for all you that just watched for fun, thank you. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep following my journey or you want to see more videos like this. Comment anything down below if you learned something from your first prep that you wish you would have known the first time. And I love you all. Okay, bye.